Friday, September 23rd, and we are watching Hurricane Fiona. Right now, Fiona is located 200 kilometers north of Bermuda, and the winds, maximum sustained winds right now are at 205, and the minimum central pressure is at 936 millibars. The storm has really picked up its forward motion. It's moving toward the north-northeast now at about 41 kilometers an hour, so quite a lot faster than what it was yesterday. Satellite imagery this morning, we do see Fiona is really not all that well put together compared to yesterday. It's starting to, its wind field is expanding and the cloud cover is expanding as well. So over the next, say, 24 to 48 hours, the storm is expected to transition to a post-tropical cyclone. However, it will continue to be a very strong post-tropical cyclone. The impacts that we are expecting, significant travel disruptions. Marine Atlantic has canceled all ferry crossings for this weekend as of this evening. The Confederation Bridge likely going to be closing this evening and remaining closed until Sunday. And there's several other travel interruptions as well. Air Canada, Provincial Airlines. So if you do have any travel plans this weekend, it's a good idea to call or check ahead before you head out the door. There is a potential we could see some prolonged power outages as well. And we are looking at wind damage, flooding, and we're also looking at destructive waves and storm surge as well. I'll show you how high the waves are going to be in just a moment, but we could see some very, very destructive waves for portions of Atlantic Canada. A good idea right now to secure any loose objects you have outside. So that's lawn furniture, if you have a barbecue, garbage bins, whatever the case may be. Bring those inside if you can, or you might want to tie them down and clear away the storm drains near your home as well, so water will have an easier time getting away from your property. Here's a look at the track right now. So the storm is near Bermuda. It is going to continue toward the north and northeast over the next day or so, and that could potentially hit Cape Breton Island or extreme northern mainland Nova Scotia, potentially as a Category 2 hurricane. And then from there, it will transition to a post-tropical cyclone as it's over the Gulf of St. Lawrence on Sunday, and then it will head north, be off the coast of Labrador on Monday, and then Tuesday and Wednesday up toward Greenland still as a post-tropical cyclone. Here's a look at the rainfall amount. So we don't even need to talk about the Avalon and Central because basically very minimal rain is expected. As we look at the west coast of Newfoundland, we are looking at 30 to 50 for Corner Brook, potentially 70 to 130 for Port aux Basques, Sydney, Nova Scotia, 90 to 110 millimeters, Halifax 110 to 130, Charlottetown 90 to 110, 15 to 30 potentially for extreme southern sections of Nova Scotia, and then lesser amounts as we head through New Brunswick. The winds are going to be quite strong as well. We're looking at winds gusting to 80 in St. John's, 100 for Gander and St. Anthony. Corner Brook, we could see winds gusting to 110. Areas right along the coast, so the outer Bay of Islands, we could see winds gusting to 120. And then down toward Port aux Basques, the Wreck House area, wind gusts up to 150 is possible. Sydney, Nova Scotia, winds gusting to 130. Over the Cape Breton Highlands, those winds could get up to 150. Portions of Prince Edward Island, we could see winds gusting up to 160, especially in Charlottetown, and places such as East Point could even get a little bit higher than that. Mainland Nova Scotia, winds between 110 and 130. Now, as I said, the waves are going to be a big story as well. So here's a look at the waves for this weekend. This will mainly be on Saturday. We're looking at waves for the south coast of Newfoundland for Canagra over to Port aux Basques, waves potentially up to 15 meters. That's not in the open ocean. Some of those waves could be 15 meters near the shore. That's why we're talking about destructive waves for the south coast. A similar story for northern sections and eastern sections of Cape Breton Island. We could see winds gusting to 15 meters there as well, and then 6 for Atlantic-facing shores of Nova Scotia, and 9 over the Gulf of St. Lawrence. It is a good idea to have an emergency kit ready as well. You should include water, food that won't spoil, a wind-up or battery-powered flashlight and radio, a first aid kit, extra keys for your car and your home, cash, traveler's checks and change, important family documents, and an emergency plan. You can check us out on social media, and you can also download our free app for the latest updates.